Let us begin in the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And let us ask that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us in this gathering, for we are gathered here for His sake, for a noble cause, for the purpose of supporting an institution of higher education that can serve as a pipeline for the next generation of American Muslim religious leaders and scholars. If I were to ask you today, right now, what are the three most important needs that American Muslims have? What are the three most important challenges that we face, and what is it that we need the most as a community? What would you say? Education? I like where you're going with that one, Shah Nawaz. Excellent. That's why we brought you. All right. What would you say the three biggest needs that we face as a Muslim community? This is not a rhetorical question. This is an actual question. Unity. All right, unity, I like it. What else? Go ahead, shout it out. Leadership, we need better leadership. All right. What else? All right, we need more money, I like it, to support our institutions. You guys are plants, I love it, I love it. You guys are anticipating where we're going. Yes. Education, leadership, we need more support for our institutions. What else? All right, better PR. We need to do a better job at representing our faith in this world and in this society. What else? Anyone have, yes? All right, to be civically engaged and be participants in this democracy, civic engagement, political engagement. Anyone have kids in here? Anyone have kids? All right, most of you. Some of you are still kids. I like it, kids at heart. How many of you consider it a priority to improve the way we pass on the faith to the next generation? To how many of you is that a priority? 3 people. No, all of you. Yes, all right. This is one of the biggest needs that we have as a community. Yes, we need better leaders. Yes, we need to do a better job of telling our story to the society in which we live. But most importantly, we need to do a better job of presenting Islam in a relevant way to our own kids. That's what we need. These are the 3 biggest challenges of our community. Better leaderships, better imams, Islamic school teachers and principals, people who represent Islam to our own community and to the society at large. Relevance for our youth. We need better youth directors, university chaplains, and we have some chaplains in the room here. We need a better job of passing on the faith to the next generation. And yes, we do need to improve the perception of Islam and Muslims. We need better PR for our community. But the way to do that, I would argue, is to empower the 3.3 million Muslims that populate this country, empower them with the skill set and the tools to themselves serve as ambassadors of this faith, to implement the faith in a way that benefits society and humanity and lets their actions speak for them, so that we are known by our deeds and not just by our words or a talking head on television. So given these needs that we've all identified, Bayan Claremont, the whole raison d'etre of Bayan Claremont, the whole reason for our existence was to address, to triage the needs, and there's a few medical doctors in here that know what I'm talking about, to address the most important needs of our community through this institution of higher education that prepares imams, youth directors, Islamic school principals and teachers, chaplains, executive directors of Islamic nonprofits and advocacy groups with a foundation in the tradition, in the Quran, in the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and an understanding of the Islamic sciences on the one hand, but also in an understanding of the modern world and how Islam can manifest itself in today's society in a way that is of benefit, in a way that is beautiful, in a way that is relevant. Our vision is exactly that, a world that understands Islamic values in a modern context. And so towards that end, we were established in 2011 with 3 entering students. We offer accredited, and that's not a small deal, by the way, accredited master's degrees in 3 fields, which I'll talk about in just a moment. We also offer certificates in a number of fields. We're a division of a Christian seminary. A Christian seminary, and let me just say a word about that. I was serving as the imam, the religious director at the Islamic Center of Southern California, the oldest mosque here in Southern California, established in 1950s, 1953. And I was also teaching at UCLA as adjunct while pursuing my doctoral degree there. And a Christian seminary president, Dr. Jerry Campbell, approached me. And he said, I've been following what you're doing. He had a few Muslim students at the college at that time. He said, I was brought on as a new president to this 130-year-old Christian seminary, very prestigious institution. He said, they brought me on because I have to tell you, Christian seminary education, mainline Protestant Christian seminary education in the United States is going downhill. It's declining. The numbers of students enrolling is decreasing. They brought me on to make Christianity relevant, to revitalize, reinvigorate this institution, and to attract more students. And he said, I've been wrestling with this issue for a few years. I think I got the answer. I think I have the solution. I said, what's the solution? And he said, I want your help. I said, okay, tell me what you have in mind and how I can help. He said, it's my vision. To revitalize this institution, we need to desegregate theological education. I said, what do you mean desegregate theological education? He said, I want to partner with a Muslim seminary and a Jewish seminary and a Buddhist university and other faith traditions so that in addition to teaching our Christian students Christianity, they also learn to know and understand and respect other world faith traditions. And I want to start with Islam so that they can learn not just to be good Christians, but they could be good Christians who can be peacemakers in the world, and we need to equip them in their theological education with the tools on how to be peacemakers. We want religion to be a positive force in society, but when you think of religion, and he told me at that time, even when you think of Christianity, you think of division, you think of conflict, you think of narrow-mindedness, self-righteousness, all kinds of negativity. So it wasn't just Islam that has a bad image in the media, it's religion in general. He said we have to reclaim the role for religion to be a positive force in society, and we need to do it together. So I need your help in identifying a accredited Muslim graduate seminary for me to partner with so that we can accomplish this goal. So I said, well, this is such a beautiful vision, but I hate to be a downer, but there's a big problem here. There is no accredited Islamic graduate school in all of the United States for you to partner with, let alone here in Southern California, but we need one. We have over 2,500 mosques in this country. Less than half have a full-time imam. 44% of the imams were born, raised, and educated abroad, which means they might bring some authentic knowledge, but it also means that they're challenged in presenting that knowledge in a way that is meaningful and relevant to young people, that is balanced in a way that integrates all of the diversity of our communities. They might come from a particular narrow perspective, and our communities here in the United States are so diverse ethnically and also in terms of the madhahib and everything else. So they might be limited in their ability to bring everyone together, let alone being able and equipped to help our communities represent our own narrative and our own words to the society at large, to be civically engaged. So I said we need an institution that can be a pipeline to producing such leaders for our mosques, for our youth, and for our community at large. And I said, I'm an academic, I'm a religious leader, I think I can help create this institution with the support of the local Muslim community here in Southern California. And he said, and this is a 2-year conversation I'm condensing in just a few moments, but he said, if you do that, we can help you in 3 significant ways. I said, all right, what are they? He said, number 1, we will give you the financial support for you to operate this institution for the first couple of years. I said, that's fantastic. He said, we're self-interested. We want to attract more Christian students, so we want you to quickly get up to speed and be independent as soon as you can, but we'll help you for the first couple of years. I said, fantastic. He said, we also have a 130-year-old institution, administration, business office, admissions office, payroll office, library, campus, classrooms, etc. He said, we'll share it all with you. I said, wow, that's very Christian of you. And he said, there's more. I said, what more could there be? He said, we'll give you accreditation. And I said, well, hold on a second. I'm an academic. I know a little bit about accreditation. You can't give me accreditation. The accrediting body gives me accreditation. He said, yeah, well, I'm a commissioner there. And I know their bylaws inside and out. And there's a little known pathway to accreditation called incubation. We will incubate you, and we want you to be authentically you. We don't want to tell you what to do, who to teach, or who should teach and what programs to offer. We want you to be authentically Muslim so that we prepare our Christian students to engage with the Muslim community, with the Muslim world. So we will incubate you until such time as you are ready to apply for independent accreditation. And then we will let you take your programs and your faculty and your students with you, and to be still engaged with us in this consortium of seminaries. And so it was overwhelming. It was an opportunity that we couldn't say no to. And although we didn't have the resources, they helped us out for the first couple of years, we had a big idea and we have a big need. And so we launched in 2011 with 3 students, and the first degree, we entitled it an MA, Master's of Arts in Religion, so it's an academic degree, but we balanced out the Islamic studies as the subtitle, Islamic studies with leadership skills. Having served as a religious leader for so many years, I knew the kinds of skills that you needed in order to be an effective leader. Things like nonprofit management, community organizing as spiritual practice, civic engagement, intra-faith relations, how we get along or don't amongst ourselves in our own community, interfaith relations, et cetera, counseling young people. So we developed the curriculum, we launched it, and we now see a tremendous growth in our student body. We started with those 3 students in 2011. This year, we have 53 students enrolled at Bayan Claremont. The 3 degrees that we offer. The first degree I just told you about, an MA in Religion, Islamic Studies, and Leadership, is our first degree, and we've offered that one since 2011. And that's our most popular degree. But we just launched 2 new degrees this academic year. The first is in Islamic education, because when we said what are the 3 most important areas to provide that leadership, we said our mosques, our Islamic schools, and for our young people and people who are embracing Islam, chaplains. So we said let's do an MA in education with 2 tracks. One is an MA in Islamic education with a track for educational leadership, for principals. And the other is for Islamic school teachers in a variety of subjects, including Islamic studies or history or other subjects that integrate Islamic studies into them at the elementary level. And then the chaplaincy degree, it's a 3-year Master's of Divinity. And the purpose of this degree is to prepare chaplains for prisons, for hospitals, for universities, and for the military. Here's a cross-section of some of the courses I just referenced earlier. We have a course entitled The Lifetimes and Teachings of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The Quran, Composition, Collection, and Themes, Islamic Theology, Islamic Philosophy, Islamic Law and Legal Theory, Sunni-Shi'i Relations, Preaching and the Public Presentation of Islam, Community Organizing as Spiritual Practice, Nonprofit Management and Leadership, Counseling Muslims, Marriage, Family, Ethics of Gender, Foundations of Islamic Education, and Chaplaincy in Contexts. We were also able to do something that's actually quite cutting edge. It's innovative in the format in which we offer the course that allows us to not compromise on the quality of our scholars that we bring to teach at Bayan. We came up with a format that is accessible to the students who are working in serving the Muslim community around the country, but also enables Muslim faculty at the elite U.S. institutions to come as visiting faculty and teach the courses in which they are the leading experts. So we have faculty from Stanford and Berkeley and Duke and Georgetown and Yale and Wisconsin and Texas and so many other places where there are profound scholars of Islam in various fields who are coming to teach at Bayan.
Assalamu alaikum, this is Fuad Al-Gohari with Bayan Claremont. Let's talk about Bayan's hybrid intensive track. Our objective was clear. We wanted to create an accessible format for people living and working across the United States or around the world to be able to complete a graduate degree and expand their Islamic knowledge by studying with world-class Muslim scholars and ulama. What we came up with is Bayan's hybrid intensive format. Here's how it works. Each semester is 16 weeks long. 1/3 of Bayan's class meetings are online and spread out throughout the semester. 2/3 of the instruction is face-to-face on Bayan's campus, condensed into only 6 intensive days, 5 hours per day per course. 2 courses meet during week 4 of the semester, and 2 meet during week 5. Enroll in 4 courses per semester offered in this intensive format, and you'll be on track to graduate within 2 academic years. So you don't need to quit your job and relocate to complete your degree. Come out to sunny Southern California only 2 weeks per semester for the in-person class sessions, and continue to work and serve your community for the remainder of the semester during the online portion of the courses. This is a unique opportunity to develop relationships with your professors and your classmates, both in and out of the classroom, and to grow in your faith and in your knowledge. That's it. Hope to see you soon.
We have in that, teaching in that format, professors like Dr. Sherman Jackson, who's local. Last semester, he taught a course entitled Islam and the Black American, From Slavery to Hip Hop. We have faculty members like Zarina Grewal from Yale, who teaches a course on Islam in America. We have the chair of Islamic Studies at Berkeley, Dr. Asad Ahmed, who teaches a course on theology. We have a faculty member at Yale who's a psychologist or psychiatrist. He teaches a course on counseling young people, something that's sorely needed, a skill set that's sorely needed from our leadership in the Muslim community. We also offer a Bayan online, which is like an extension program for Bayan. What we do is we video record our lectures when they come out and teach those 30 hours of a 45-hour class. We video record it, and then we put it online and make it accessible in like a massive open online course, a MOOC, for those who are familiar with the terminology. For $15 a month, you can enroll and really get all of the benefit of the courses at Bayan without taking the course for credit, but you get all of the knowledge. We also have, having taught Arabic myself at UCLA for 10 years, we knew that we could not do Arabic in this format, so we decided to go fully online with Arabic language. And they've come a long way with technology, with a virtual classroom. You can see one here where the students engage live, synchronous, with the faculty member twice a week in the evenings. And this is designed for credit for our students, but it's been so successful that we've now opened it to the community at large, and we have 4 levels of Arabic that we now teach in this format, and we've made it available to the community for 1/3 the price, only $700 per semester. Now, as to our graduates, our students come from around the country, from Washington State to Washington, D.C., Texas, New Jersey, Ohio, Wyoming, Oregon. So our students are coming from all over the place, and they are working as imams, as Islamic school principals and teachers, as prison chaplains, etc., as hospital chaplains. And our students are going on to serve as imams, academics. Half of our graduates, and we've graduated now 4 classes of graduates, have gone on to do their PhDs, or pursuing their PhDs. They've got admitted to those graduate programs. Just to give you a context of how competitive we are, at USC, Dr. Sherman Jackson began offering, for the first time, a PhD in Islamic Studies. Last year, he admitted 1 student out of all the people who applied to that program, to the inaugural program of Islamic Studies at USC. He admitted 1 student. It was our graduate, Said Hadi Qazwini, who got accepted in that program and is now pursuing his PhD there, while serving as an imam for his community. Also, our graduates go on to serve as nonprofit leaders, community organizers, educators, youth counselors, youth and family counselors, and social entrepreneurs. And by the way, we have almost as many women, female students as we do male students, which is a wonderful development. So we have incredible students, as you can see. We have incredible faculty. And so that brings us to the point of us being here tonight. I am here asking for your help and your support, because although this was not my plan, I was planning just to become an academic and, live that life where I, teach a little bit in the classroom and then have a lot of family time, because, the life of an academic is, laid back and easy. But you plan and God plans, and God is the best of planners. This opportunity to both serve at the Islamic Center, but then also play a role in the founding of this incredible institution has been very humbling. But the one area where I need help the most is from you all to fund this institution. As this table over here rightly said, and they're going to be the first to jump on to the next part of this program, which is the fundraising. So I have a 2.5-minute video I want to share with you that highlights some of the perspective of our faculty and students, and then I'm going to make an appeal. So prepare yourselves. All right.
Bayan is absolutely essential for the future of Islam in America, because the goal of Bayan is to produce religious leadership from the people of our community.
American Muslim academic traditions are right in their beginning stage. Bayan actually is exceptionally, I think, equipped to deal with the diversity, but in a way that is, I want to say, beautiful. And I think that some of the leaders, some of the professors who are also believing Muslims bring together something really important that you don't find in other programs.
One of the things that really makes Bayan Claremont stand out as an institution is that not only do we have the traditional on-campus 15-week semester-long courses, but we now have an executive master's or hybrid intensive format that enables working professionals around the country to come on campus only 2 weeks a semester and do the rest of the coursework online. And that way they can maintain their income from their employment and also implement what they're learning in the classroom on the job to better serve their communities.
Bayan has been my main tool in my toolbox with regards to the connections that I have been able to make and have really deep, reflective discussions about what kind of challenges we're facing. I don't have that forum anywhere else.
I think with every learning experience, the biggest thing perhaps you can learn is how much you don't know. Bayan was there as that stair step for me to continue on this journey of seeking knowledge.
From day one, I realized that I was not only a student, but whether I knew it or not, I was a leader in progress.
I think I should be very frank and say that this is an extremely promising endeavor. What I like about Bayan is that one can critically engage the tradition without any fear of offending anybody, without any sense of that you're driving somebody to a very particular dogmatic or creedal position. It's that kind of openness, I think, in an environment of a religious institution, which Bayan is. In other words, a marriage of the academic with a seminary environment. I think that's what makes Bayan extremely promising.
All right. So, we have a long-term vision. Bayan is a big idea. Right now we have 53 students and 3 master's degrees. But our vision is big, it's grand. We want to become like the Muslim Notre Dame. We want to become like the Muslim Harvard, like the Muslim Brandeis. We want to become an institution that produces leaders that change the world and make a big impact in the societies in which they live and from where they come. And so our big vision, our long-term vision, is to ultimately have our own specialized graduate schools in law and medicine and communications and engineering and other fields, to have our own undergraduate institution, and to have PhDs in advanced Islamic studies, to produce scholars who can not only help shape Islam in America, but around the world. And so we have a very grand vision. And we are now at a watershed moment because we are growing. You see our student numbers increasing. People love to teach at Bayan. We get requests all the time. How can I teach at Bayan? And we have a very rigorous process by which we select our faculty. So it's a wonderful growing institution whose leaders are producing wonderful results for our communities. But we are at a stage of growth in which we rely on your support. We are not taking money from foreign governments, and some of you might have read the news. We're not even taking money from our own federal government. All right, some of you are like, why are you clapping about that? Well, that's a whole nother story, but we just turned down, first of all, we received a grant for $800,000, or we were awarded a grant for $800,000 from the federal government, but when Trump took over and for a variety of other reasons, our community said, we don't want you to take that money. And so we, relying on the strong advice of our faculty, our students, and our community of supporters, we decided to turn down that $800,000 grant. It was tainted. It was through, the Department of Homeland Security. And although the grant was to do what it is that we are already doing, the perception was too insurmountable for us to overcome. And so we wanted to be responsive and respectful to our community that we're trying to serve. And so we're meeting the community where we are. And so we turned to our supporters and we said, now what? We have an $800,000 hole in our fiscal budget year this year, which is only $1.5 million. So we're more than halfway in the hole. What are you going to do about it? They stepped up and they said, okay, we'll come up with $400,000 as a matching grant. And so they did. And so we come to you tonight with that context, that we have that big of a need. And you guys are looking in the room. So I have some good news and the bad news. The good news is that we have enough money in this room to meet that goal. The bad news is it's in your pockets, and we need you to take it out and to pass it on to Bayan. But in all honesty, we have a big need. This is not a small ask that we have, and not a small need that we face as a community. In 5 years, we expect our tuition to cover most of our operating expenses. But right now, we rely on your support. We need at least 200 students to make that happen, which we anticipate achieving that mark by 2020 or 2021. But until then, we need profound support from all of you. Before the levels of donations that you can give, there's another way that you could be supportive of Bayan, and that is to enroll in our degree program. It's for working professionals. We have IT professionals from Austin, Texas, who one of their students is the founder of Alif Lam Mim, which is the first Muslim fraternity. I'm not joking. That's the name of the Muslim fraternity, Alif Lam Mim. When I was at Berkeley, we kind of jokingly came up with one called Kaf Ha Ya Ain Sad, and the hazing ritual was you had to be able to pronounce those letters correctly to get in. But they actually they have 11 chapters around the country, a Muslim fraternity called Alif Lam Mim. He's now a working professional, but he said, I need stronger foundation in the faith. And so he's arranged with his work to be able to come out 2 weeks every semester, study at Bayan, and he goes back to his office. You can enroll in Bayan, and it only takes 1 week in person to attend a class, and the rest is online. So you can do that. You can audit a course. You can take the online Arabic language course or enroll in our Bayan Online, which is like our extension program, for $15 a month. You can attend some of our conferences, help us spread the word, become a monthly contributor, or host a fundraiser. Now, all right, hold on, because I have some exciting news to share with you. And I'm just thrilled. I was blessed about almost 15 years ago to meet the late boxer Muhammad Ali. I was asked by him and his wife Lonnie to be a Muslim witness on his last will and testament. I met with him in Santa Monica at the law offices, and he already had, advanced stages of Parkinson's, but he is sharp as a tack, and his spirit and his heart was so beautiful that he was able to communicate his love and his wit at the same time. And he taught me some magic tricks. It was beautiful. I really was blessed to have met him and got to know him and his wife. So after he passed away last year, I spoke to his wife, Lonnie Ali, and she had known about Bayan. She was very supportive of what it is that we're doing, and she had offered to Bayan to name a scholarship fund after the late boxing champion Muhammad Ali. And so we are pleased to announce the Muhammad Ali Scholarship Fund to support, and let me read this announcement and also her endorsement in the next slide. Bayan Claremont Islamic Graduate School, with the support of the Ali family, is excited to announce the launch of the Muhammad Ali Scholarship Fund for Spiritual Leadership. Our goal is to raise nothing less than $800,000 above and beyond what we're talking about for our operation expense. This is to be earmarked and dedicated to the support of the graduate education at Bayan of 20 leaders who work in underserved Muslim communities. This is an important point, and this is the whole reason for developing this scholarship, to help 20 leaders who work in underserved Muslim communities around the country. This endeavor is designed to educate, train, and credential the next generation of religious and community leaders in order to help them bring their communities to a position of excellence. The Muhammad Ali Fund will provide 20 full tuition scholarships to a select group of deserving and highly qualified entering graduate students enrolled on a full-time basis in Bayan's 48-unit master's degree program in either Islamic education or Islamic studies and leadership. The People's Champion once said, "My wealth is my knowledge. My wealth is my knowledge of self, love, and spirituality." End quote. At Bayan, our educational vision for a world that understands Islamic values in a modern context involves the cultivation of rising leaders who are firmly in touch with their own faith, identity, and community, echoing Muhammad Ali's groundedness and dedication to the betterment of others. And here's what the widow of the champion passed on to us to announce to you all tonight. She was hoping to be here, but she couldn't be here herself this evening, so she sent us this message. "It is with great pride and gratitude that the Ali family recognizes the establishment of the Muhammad Ali Scholarship at Bayan Claremont Islamic Graduate School. These scholarships enable established and practicing imams the educational opportunity and financial means to pursue advanced degrees in Islamic studies and leadership. They also represent an extension of Muhammad's legacy, Muhammad Ali's legacy, but also Muhammad, peace be upon him, his legacy, by equipping graduates with the necessary skills to bridge our present-day cultural and religious divide. Hopefully, a greater understanding and representation of Islam will be had by all." Here is one of our graduates, Imam Jihad Safir. I'm going to share with you his story, but he is the kind of social entrepreneur that Bayan hopes to continue to graduate, who is serving underserved Muslim communities around the country. He's working in South Central Los Angeles. Here's a story of one of our graduates, Imam Jihad Safir. It's a 5-minute video.
You know, it's funny, I used to type my father's notes, but I never recall, you know, even thinking to myself that this is what I wanted to do professionally. This is what I wanted to do as a career. This is what I wanted to spend my life in studying, you know, so something happened and I'm here now. Allah knows best. I was kind of directed towards the text, the Quran. I all of a sudden wanted to memorize the Quran. I wanted to learn more about the Arabic language, and you know, I'm here. My name is Jihad Safir, and I was born and raised in Pasadena, California. My father, he, with other members of the community, they founded Masjid Ibadillah, which is located in South Los Angeles. Eventually, I was elected the imam at that particular masjid. My father, he, you know, became ill, but he's there still supporting. I would listen to him and give the khutbah. He gave me a lot of training. And now he listens to me and continues to give me training and give me advice. We have a school called Islamic Academy. We do social services. We have a food pantry. We do prison re-entry under Islam LA. And we have a brand new masjid being built under Masjid Ibadillah. We hold Salatul Jumu'ah every Friday. We have school in session, pre-K through 7th grade. We have weekend courses in which we teach the Arabic language, fiqh, and it's a learning center in the middle of the hood, or in South Los Angeles. And you know, it's a beautiful community. People have come to the community, and they fall in love with the environment. Bayan, I first came to the orientation. I was looking for a program. I was on my way to finishing my BA in Arabic Studies. So I knew that I had to continue. I knew that wasn't enough. Of course, I thought that the program was, kind of expensive. I didn't want to take out any loans. So I think I was looking at some colleges in Malaysia or something. And I was on my way thinking about going overseas, and I got a phone call from Bayan saying that they would support me going to their program. So, beautiful opportunity. I will never forget the day. I listened to my voicemail on the day of the Eid, and the most beautiful Eid gift that I could receive. I entered into Bayan during its first year, taking classes in conflict resolution, how to run a nonprofit. The Imam can't learn this from, for example, his sheikh, being in an interfaith setting that allows you to broaden some of your views. Not only that, there was individuals who have studied texts from the Shafi'i tradition or the Hanbali tradition, so on and so forth. So you learn and you gather information from each other, being in that diverse classroom. I think with every learning experience, the biggest thing perhaps you can learn is how much you don't know. Bayan provided that particular environment. Sitting in the classrooms, exchanging ideas with people, looking at the traditional text, the more contemporary text, you realize how much knowledge is out there. So Bayan was there as that stair step for me to continue on this journey of seeking knowledge.
So, here's the ask. I want you to go to the following link, launchgood.com/Ali Scholarship. Take out your phone, go there, make a donation. It could be $1 and contribute to this fund. So I wanted to thank you all for coming here tonight. I spoke for a very long time. I recognize that. We pulled together this program because the need was there, the opportunity was there, and the love from all of you is present. So thank you all very much for your attention, for your support, and I look forward to thanking you each individually and personally. Jazakumullahu khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.